Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. Sorry, it's been a little while, a couple weeks I think, but we had a couple issues with guests. I think we explain it in the podcast here, but I've been sick for a little while, so as you can probably tell. So we also, I posted something on Facebook letting everybody know that our format is going to be a little different. So what we're going to do is do the same podcast, like the same way we've been doing it, but we'll break it up into hour-long pieces, 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes shorter than that. And, just to make it easier for you to digest and, it's easier to listen to, I think. And then we'll release it over a couple days span. So today you're going to get part 1 of our 15th podcast. Tomorrow you'll get part 2, and the next day you'll get part 3. Likely. I mean, maybe I'll split it up into every other day. I'm not sure. But you'll know when it goes up. Just, subscribe to the channel and get notifications and stuff. If you're on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you'll be able to just, you'll see it from there. Also, if you haven't followed us on Twitter, you can. It's at ClearShotsPod. We'll be sure to post it there as well. So, with that being said, here's part 1 of the podcast with Graham.
These are the topics we brought up for discussion.
Apparently.
These are just the ones I saved.
Damn. Are we on the books?
I guess we're on, yeah.
We're on the books. Hello,
Did
Jim.
you even... Oh, yeah.
It's been a while. How's it going?
Hello, Graham. Hello, Seth. It has been quite a while. Haven't seen you since...
It's been a while since we podcasted in the first place.
Technically, yeah.
It was like we were going to do one, and then
you were
it
sick.
didn't happen, and then I got sick. Because Vinny was going to do one.
Yep.
And then we were going to do one on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep. But you were dying.
And also Christian didn't come in because he never does what he says he's going to do.
And then we also had Bill. We had the one with Bill for the Royal Rumble, but we lost half
and
of
that
it.
one
So
did not record. So
yeah.
Oh, man.
So it's been a rough 2018
I've
for
honestly
CSP.
been in and out of, feeling good. I, had a little sinus, deal and whatever for, a week. It was, it was rough. So, sorry I haven't been here in a while, but, boy, it feels good to be back.
You're good. We've had a good... before we had Bill... We had Brian on the one day.
Yeah.
But I had to work the next morning, so I left an hour and 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
And before that, we had Cody.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And I think that's it. I think we've only done, 2 this whole year. 2 or 3, maybe.
Word. So I went to Dinos Burgers for the first time the other day. Got it, to go because I was working. And I was just kind of disappointed.
I still haven't been there.
The actual burger meat itself was bland. Everything else in the sandwich was good. I got the Dino burger. It was 2 grilled cheeses, mozzarella sticks, marinara sauce, and a burger. All in one.
Together?
Yeah, all in one. A burger in between 2 grilled cheeses and mozzarella sticks and sauce and a burger. And everything else was good, but the burger meat was just so bland and stuff like that. If they're specializing in burgers, it's got to be a little, I don't know, I won't say spice, but just it was just bland.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it's kind of expensive, too.
That was probably the big downer about it, yeah. I can get a good burger anywhere else kind of thing.
Ruby
Good
Tuesday.
Or
That's where I
burger.
go.
Brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Their chicken parmesan is actually really good. Last time I had it, I love that shit.
At Ruby Tuesday?
Yeah. Yep.
One of my best friends works there, and she was telling me that most of this stuff is microwaved there, so I don't go to Ruby Tuesday anymore.
Yeah. That's kind of the disappointing thing when you do work in kind of big chained areas that you find out most things are microwaved.
Yeah, or they're shipped pre-made and they just put them on a brazier or a broiler or something.
Yeah.
Can't remember which restaurant it was. I think it's Applebees. It's like most things other than stuff that you have to temp when you cook steak or burgers, anything that you could cook medium rare. But their ribs at Applebee's come in frozen and they just put them on this conveyor belt that cooks them as it goes along, like at fucking Calios.
Well, it's sure as hell quicker to do.
Yeah,
Pump
definitely.
more shit out.
And nobody cares because if you're going to Applebee's, you're not looking for quality. You're looking for like a disappointing meal with your family after you lose.
Go
at
get wasted
Talladega.
Applebee's.
It's like the only people that are really gonna notice are the people that are looking for that. Like are
Yeah.
like, oh, is this microwaved? Like I used to watch Kitchen Nightmares all the time, and Gordon would know. Like
Oh,
he'd
yeah.
be like, "Oh shit, what the fuck? Like this is definitely microwave."
This is processed.
Yeah, like
Like the one
you can
place,
tell like the mushiness.
Yep.
What is it? Amy's Baking Company. They advertise that the raviolis are homemade, but they only give you homemade ones if you request them. Otherwise, they give you like frozen, like regular raviolis.
Oh, word. That's disappointing.
Kitchen Nightmares is good. I've watched a lot of that.
Yeah, it's
shit.
great.
It's honestly the most hilarious part is just watching Gordon Ramsay lose his shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's great. But fucking Canalis has kind of gone down. They're hit or miss nowadays. Like I think the sauce is kind of dealt with. Like their pizza's always really good, but like just from everything I've kind of been hearing, it's kind of been going down lately.
Mm-hmm. The same thing with Vona's too. We went to Vona's a few months ago. We usually, like the family, we used to go like once a month, and we haven't gone in a while because last time it was just that's the best way to describe it. Really.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is just
Yep.
I think I usually get the chicken
Chicken
something.
riggies.
Alfredo.
Like the spicy.
I think I get the chicken Alfredo. Yeah, from there, and then at Canalis I get the chicken parm
Yep.
because that's good.
Oh yeah.
Their pizza's good too. I like their pizza a
Canalis
lot.
pizza's wicked good. I
Chicken parm's
usually
a good
get
go-to.
chicken and peppers. It's like sautéed peppers and onions and mushrooms with like a nice grilled chicken. But
Or
Last time I
microwave chicken.
yeah, probably.
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, chicken parm's always a good go-to.
Yeah,
Always has been, always will be.
it's a
It's
classic.
like, yeah, it is a classic. And it's not hard to make either. So if you just like want a chicken parm, you could just
Yeah.
there it is.
It's just chicken and parm.
That's all it is, Doc. Hell yeah.
I've been watching so much Bob Ross lately.
Oh,
Jesus
dude,
Christ.
hilarious.
It's not even fair how good it is though. Cause like it's like it doesn't look like anything until like the camera pans back out, and then you look at it and you're like, what the fuck did he just do? How did he do that? All he did was like super light lines, and it like the definition and shit that he does just from like quick strokes and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? He drew these mountains that looked like a fucking picture last night that it took him like 20 seconds and it looked like they looked photorealistic. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It makes you want to learn how to paint.
Yeah, dude, so that was on Netflix when I was living out in Colorado, and I'd just get super baked and just geek my balls off to Bob Ross.
Yeah.
He had like, the first episode has 2 little pet squirrels, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just going to show you my squirrels. You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like,
That's still on there.
yeah. It's nuts. It's so fun to watch.
My favorite one was when he did an entire landscape only using gray. He only used like white, black, and gray, and he did like an entire
Yeah. Oh, it's dude,
skyline or something.
when he pulls out the titanium white, dude,
Oh,
it's not
you know
even fair.
something's going down.
It's not even fair because he just uses it to. He like accents everything with that titanium white.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's perfect.
Oh, my hilarious.
The Van Dyke Brown.
Jeez. Oh man. So the Super Bowl happened.
Yeah, it did.
I missed out on some good wings and shit. That's the only real reason I love that is like going to parties, having all the good food, and like it's like the one good Super Bowl game I actually enjoy. But it was partied too hard the night before, unfortunately. But
It's weird. Like, I think fans have been spoiled by the Super Bowl lately. It's been like super good, like the last few years.
Every Super Bowl, basically since like Cardinals and actually even then, fucking Giants Patriots in 07, that was a good one. And then you had Cardinals Steelers, and then it was Packers Steelers.
Yeah.
Those were all good. Colts Bears, whatever. The only bad Super Bowl we've had lately was Seahawks Broncos.
Yeah,
but even then,
'cause that was-
fucking.
But that's still good
that
because
was
it
a
was just
great
a
one.
fucking blowout.
It was just dirty.
That was the last one I actually saw, believe it or not.
Yeah, that one
I
was
I
fantastic.
was living in Colorado at the time, and I was living in South Colorado and kind of the middle of nowhere, and people were literally shooting off their guns outside because they're so happy. Like on the outskirts of town, you could just hear bam, bam. It was like,
Oh, is that when the Broncos won it?
yeah,
I can't imagine what it must have been there.
yes.
Yeah, there was some crazy shit in Philly after the game.
Dude, somebody stole a truck and crashed it into a Macy's.
Brutal. Yeah, I saw people doing like backflips on like the what was it? Those like little tents above doors for like most hotels.
An
and stuff
awning?
like, yeah, an awning. There you go. Thank you.
Tents. Above
Tents.
doors.
The little
As
tents.
soon as you said that, I knew.
It's a full-blown tent, like, above a door for some reason.
There was,
I don't understand why that's the way you choose to celebrate, though. Like, flipping cars
It's
and
pretty
burning
brutal.
shit.
That's like the most. I didn't think that many people were so anarchistic.
Yeah.
But I guess there are. If you get enough drinks in people, they fucking turn into animals.
well, Philadelphia is also just an awful place.
Yeah.
It's
True.
like low-key worse than Detroit.
I feel like they have to keep up their reputation.
Yeah.
True.
Like, I feel like people expected that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, oh, I guess we got to go burn shit now. So.
Yeah, cops said it was just a normal night to them. And I saw videos of people in like a gas station having a food fight with snacks. Just like in the actual gas station, just throwing, whipping shit at each other. And, like,
That's
wow.
fucked. I feel bad for the minimum wage worker that has to go in and clean that shit up.
Yeah.
I would quit on the spot if I had to do that.
Oh, I'm robbing the place too.
For real.
So I'm getting out. Pick up my last check Thursday.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, it was a
And
good
then
game, though. Dude,
it
Foles,
was.
like, that one play that Foles had,
The catch.
the catch,
The catch.
yeah. That's the new the catch.
It is. It was amazing. It was such a fucking high school. No, it was like a middle school trick play that you would use in like a scrimmage. Because they
Yeah.
had the team lined up in the shotgun, and then Foles went up to the right tackle.
Yeah,
to
he
talk to
goes,
him.
I was just watching the sound effects. He goes, shit. He goes, kill. It's like he's killing the play.
Yeah.
And then he walks up to the tackle, and he starts yelling an audible. And so he's lined up in formation, so now they can snap the ball.
Yep.
And they snap it to the running back, and he just
Fucking flea
is wide
flickers it.
open. There's nobody there because no one's expecting to cover him. And he fucking actually caught it. Because Brady can't catch it. He did the same thing earlier and didn't catch it.
Yeah, that was just.
And that was a
just-
fourth down play.
Yeah, 4th and goal at the 1.
At the end of the
throw that
second.
in there. Like, what the fuck? As soon as that happened, I was like, they're gonna win the game now.
Yeah. Dude, he's a ballsy play caller.
Yeah.
Peterson is.
Yeah, that was great.
He was so aggressive. Like, that's the way you win. That's the way you win games, is be aggressive. Because like, a lot of teams are conservative. Like, they don't... Once they get the lead, they'll relax. Like, they'll start running the ball.
That's what the Jaguars did.
Like,
Jaguars
trying to
were
just-
up like fucking 17
Yeah.
or some stupid shit. Up by
Yeah.
14, 17.
Exactly. Yeah,
With,
they
like,
should
a
have. They should have
quarter to
been
go.
trying to score.
Yeah.
Man.
It's ridiculous. That's what the Packers' problem is. They don't try and score.
Yeah.
McCarthy likes to sit on the ball and run the clock out, and he should take notes from Doug Peterson, because that dude just won a Super Bowl against the Patriots by being aggressive.
And he's only been at Philly for 2 years.
It's a fun game though, because that game was like, there was so little defense. Like, it was just like a shootout.
Yeah.
Like, right off the bat, they were fucking taking chunk plays and shit.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then the other sports fucking thing, NBA trade deadline happened, and I really wish Kevin Durant didn't go to the Warriors, because that completely ruined the whole culture of the NBA and how teams are made now.
Yeah, that seems pretty bullshit.
Well, he went there 2 years ago, and the NBA's just been a joke. Teams aren't trying to compete. Like, there's a few teams that are trying to just compete with the Warriors. And then you have the Cavs, who spent an entire offseason last year to get all these different assets and players. And that the trade deadline this year, they literally got rid of every single one of those guys and brought in new players. And they still don't even have a chance.
Are players taking pay cuts to get on teams, or are they just, is the salary cap too high?
The salary cap in basketball is fucking stupid.
Because, like, obviously they have to pay these guys.
They have the soft cap, and they have the hard cap, and then they have a mid-level exception, and then they also have bird rights. So if, say I'm the Knicks general manager, and I draft Graham, since I drafted Graham, I have his bird rights. But if I trade him to you, and you're like, the Sixers GM, you get Graham's bird rights, and basically bird rights make it so you can go over the cap for that player.
Oh.
So like, you have $100 million to spend on players. I can pay Graham $150 million and still be fine.
Yeah.
But then it makes it more complicated because you can't get free agents, or you can get restricted guys, or you can get other bird players.
It seems like you just need a lower salary cap to not have. You shouldn't be able to have basically an all-star team. Like that's.
I don't think. I think they should lower the salary cap, and also they should be able to like ban. Because they did it before, like 10 years ago. They were going to have Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, and Kobe Bryant on the Lakers, and there was some other player, Ron Artest, I think. They were all going to go and play for Los Angeles, and that would have been a ridiculous team, like 10 years ago.
And 96 Michael Jordan.
And 96 Michael Jordan. And, like, the commissioner of the NBA was like, no, that's not fair. Like, it's not fair to have, the 3 best players in the NBA on the same team. So he nixed it. And then, Kevin Durant takes a Tom Brady pay cut to go play for the Warriors, which was already the best team in the league. And then you're adding the second best player in the league.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
This doesn't make sense.
Crushing it.
For real. Like, they're fun to play with on 2K at least, so...
So, yo, not to be off topic or
You're
anything,
good.
I've been looking at, is that a Nintendo Switch over there?
Yeah.
I've been looking at that, and I really like the symbol and almost like primordial language like on it and stuff. Did you see the new thing that Nintendo's coming out with, where they have like cardboard boxes?
The Labo or whatever it is.
That, like, at first I was highly questionable. I'm like, what the fuck's this? Like, you just break it and whatever. But for marketing scheme wise, it's fucking brilliant, because if you break it, you can go buy a new one. And
it's probably
there's so
pretty
many
heavy
different
duty
options.
cardboard though.
True. Yeah.
It's probably like there's a lot of companies that are using heavy duty cardboard now. It's weird because that Google has that VR headset that's all cardboard.
Really?
It's called Google Cardboard.
Yeah.
And it's just you put your phone in it and it just does. That's all that they are. Those phone ones. They're just a mount for your phone to hold it up to your fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Like they have them at Walmart for $5. It's like you could go get one.
That's not virtual reality, right? It's
No,
just
not
putting a screen in
like
your
basically
face.
what it is it plays a video in VR form. So like it'll show the 2 screens, but what that thing does is it mounts it so that you're seeing one in each eye.
Oh,
Yeah, my dad has one of those.
interesting.
You just
Interesting.
slide
just-
your phone in. And
Yeah.
It's
that's all
like
it is.
stereoscopic 3D or whatever.
Right.
It looks really awesome. Like I was kind of really pumped to see that, because it's just like Bill is the one who actually described it to me, and it took like a while for my mind to wrap around the concept, just like seeing it or hearing about it, and then when I saw it, it was
Right.
like it's a whole new world when it comes to that. That's
I think-
really cool.
I think those ones actually, if your phone has like a gyroscope, which most phones do now, you can like look around and stuff.
Yeah.
Like
but it's not like
360 videos type thing.
Yeah,
on your
yeah. Basically, that's what you would be doing.
VR porn.
Yeah.
phone. Oh yeah.
Like Brian, basically. But that's all it's really for.
Very fun.
You're not gonna play games with it and shit.
No.
I played the PlayStation VR with like the 2 paddles and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and there's actually a lot of cool fun games for that.
Job Simulator.
Oh,
Have you played that one?
No,
My
I saw
buddies
a
of my
few
has
videos
Job
of it.
Simulator, and that one's fucking awesome. It's you're like a human, and in this world, humans are slaves to like robots, and you have to like perform jobs. And it's just simple shit.
It sounds
but
like
it's
they're training you for the future.
It's fucking awesome, honestly, dude. It's so fun. Like I remember Zamai and I played that shit for like 7 or 8 hours straight one day.
Pretty soon that's gonna be every game, and then we'll be really good at it. And then when the robots take over, we'll be good at our jobs already.
Yeah, it's perfect, dude.
Coolest game I saw, I think it was just for the Oculus, which is like what looks like the gnarliest form of VR, or anyway, from what I know. There's a graffiti game where you can actually choose different tips, different colors, and you just have a whole wall canvas just to go at. And
That's
it
pretty
seemed
sweet.
Really accurate, really cool. I definitely.
Yeah, I hear the Oculus and the HTC Vive are like the big ones right now.
The Vive is the big one with full motion
Isn't
shit.
Oculus owned by Facebook or some shit now?
Yeah.
Possibly. I thought it was
But
Was it Microsoft at first? Or
I don't
know
remember.
Microsoft, like, that was the first one I saw, was by Microsoft.
They've got the HoloLens, which is still
Yeah, that's right.
It's a prototype still. Have you seen that yet?
No, I can't say I have.
We should pull that up.
That is like glasses, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like a table, and you put these glasses on. And
that's
it's like
AR. That's augmented reality.
Augmented reality. That one is the fucking cool one.
Mm.
They do the HoloLens Minecraft.
Yeah, I did see that video.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
it's
one.
like a hologram.
Yeah, and you could do it like in your living room and just
Yeah.
like it's like Legos, but you don't have to deal with a mess. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
That one was cool. I wasn't big on VR. I was big on VR for like a month. Like Wes had an Oculus Rift, and we were obsessed with it. Like every time I'd go over there, and then I was like, eh.
That's the thing. I think it might just be a.
It's a niche. I don't think it's gonna go away, but it's definitely a niche.
It's not going to go away now. But I think it's going to also be one of those things you don't want to sit there and play for like 8 hours at a time.
Yeah.
There's a virtual reality Skyrim now that came out with it like last year, I think, but
Yeah.
that's brutal.
And they also got Fallout 4 VR, which has been getting a lot of hate because it came out and it was basically broken.
I'm sure it was.
Because it, I don't know if they downgraded the graphics for it. Like the original trailer was like, yeah, it's gonna look just like Fallout 4, and then they realized that no computer can run it at max settings and have the virtual reality at the same time.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
No
But
fun.
just not run it at max settings. You know?
What's the point of that? Like, that's the thing, is people say that, but it's like so many PC gamers have that hubris. Most
Yeah.
of them have that hubris.
That's
Why I don't like PC gaming.
I
Honestly.
know. It's really irritating.
I would say
They have to have the game running at high, and like literally all the settings have to be maxed.
yep. Instead of, like, I always just played like 60 frames or like 140 frames.
And
whatever.
and they have to be getting a good frame rate.
Yeah.
Which is like, you don't need it.
It's like having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah.
It really
I
is.
was weirded out by that expression. It's like, who just want to look at a cake?
Right. Why would you just want to have it?
Just look at it.
That's weird.
Just fucking with you. It always just threw me off though.
Let them eat cake.
Let him eat it.
But that's like, I got the Xbox One S. You have the same one. And it's like, that's fine.
Yeah.
My library is huge.
Yep.
We got like, I think I only have like 18 games installed, but I only fucking play.
I mean,
Madden and
between
2K
having
anyway.
Game Pass and the Games of Gold stuff, you have tons of games.
Yeah,
Like,
and
right
I
off the
have
bat.
EA Access.
Yeah.
There's some game coming to it. I'm getting Madden 18 soon. I think Madden 18 comes out when free agency starts, which is only in like a couple weeks.
It'd be 19.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be on Access because
Oh.
I've been playing 17 all year.
18 was on Access, okay.
Yeah.
Because 18 was just on sale. They usually put it on sale Super Bowl week
Mm-hmm.
for $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is when I bought it last year, or the year before or whatever. But I bought it on release this time. I got sucked in by that long shot story mode thing.
That you beat in like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's like a Telltale thing.
Yeah.
It's just a movie that you kind of play, like a little bit. You sort of play it.
See the new trailer for that Solo movie, Han Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yep. That actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm worried though that Star Wars is turning into Marvel, where they're just gonna milk the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, since Disney bought it, it's a little. Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be weird seeing Han Solo as like not played by fucking Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And then also Lando not being played by
Isn't it
Billy D. Williams.
yeah, isn't it what fucking Donald Glover?
Yeah.
Oh.
Donald Glover. Childish Gambino.
That's cool though. I'll
The
take
guy
that.
that plays Han Solo is actually really good too. He was in Hail Caesar. He's like the main character of Hail Caesar.
I started watching the Wet Hot American Summer.
The
Cause you
movie
were,
or the series?
the series, because you mentioned it on here once.
Just going off about it the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
it's awesome.
really funny.
Have you seen the movie yet?
No,
You have to
it's
watch
not
the
on
movie.
Netflix.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, both seasons of the show are on there. You
Is
ever
it
seen Wet Hot
a
American Summer?
No. I
It's
haven't.
fucking hilarious.
is it a prequel to the movie?
Yeah.
There's 10 years later too, though.
That's the sequel to the movie.
Okay, so you watched the series.
No, you watched. Well, I did the series first, and then I watched the movie, and then I watched 10 years later.
Yeah.
And then I watched the movie, and then I watched the first season and the second season.
I'm gonna have to watch the movie second.
Yeah.
I've already started the series.
Yeah, that's the same thing I did. But when you watch the movie and then you watch First Day at Camp again, there's so much
References
stuff.
and
Yeah,
shit.
it's just wicked good. It's
got an awesome cast. Like the cast is great.
It's Amy Poehler, Bradley Cooper,
Paul Rudd,
Jeanine Garofalo, Michael Ian Black, Michael Cera. Pretty sure it's got H. John Benjamin.
Yeah,
it's got
that girl from Zack and Miri.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, it's got
Jordan Peele.
Yep.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
He's good. He's funny. I'll have to check that shit out.
And then fuck.
It's got pretty much everybody.
Yeah, but like way back in like 2002, they made this shitty film which ended up being a huge cult classic called What Hot American Summer, and it was all those people we just named. It was like the first thing they ever did, and like it blew up, and they're all super famous now, and like it's just a passion project because it's like, you know, it's the first thing. It's how they all got their big break, you know.
Word.
The best is in 10 years later, it's just it's not a big spoiler, or not even really a spoiler. They couldn't get Bradley Cooper to be in 10 years later because he was doing American Sniper or something else for filming. So they recasted him as Adam Scott, but they obviously, people are going to know that it's not really Bradley Cooper. So in lore, he broke his nose in like a volleyball accident and got surgery to fix it, and that's why he looks like Adam Scott instead of Bradley Cooper. But all the flashbacks are still Bradley Cooper. And like all the other photos and shit that are like around the camp are all still Bradley Cooper. So it's pretty funny.
Jeez.
It's got John Benjamin too.
Yep.
He's like a can.
He's a can of corn. He fell into toxic
So
waste and
good.
turned into a talking can of corn.
Dude, that'd be brutal.
I'm not sure how that works, but
It's such a good show. It's such a good show.
Pardon me.
So, going back, click that link.
So we got some topics to talk
this
about?
top one.
Yeah, morgue worker sacked for having sex with corpse.
Let's start with a less brutal one. Or, fuck, let's dive balls deep into it. Let's
Yeah.
get it.
So, which TV star? Is this somebody we even...
Is this
No.
real?
Oksana Apkeva from Russia's top reality show Dom 2 was found by a truck driver murdered on the side of a motorway.
In 2008.
In 2008, her killer's never been found, but they exhumed her body to carry out detailed tests. Evidence collected that Miss Apkeva had been sexually violated after her death, with DNA tests showing...
And it disappeared.
Yep, classic.
It's like, dude, these are... Oh, my God. Yep. These news sites do this. They try and load, like
ads and shit.
And then they're like, oh, yeah, we don't work anymore.
So honestly, I don't doubt this story.
I doubt it.
Because the world is a pretty groom and fucking shitty place sometimes. And there's a lot of fucked up... If necrophilia is okay, you're fucked. Like... If you think that's okay, it's not okay. If this is what the conclusion of the story comes to.
Yeah. I don't
Not
know, dude.
okay.
The guy's in prison and his wife left him, so... His wife is alive, so he can't be that much into corpses.
Oh, geez, they found him. Oh.
I mean, you got to find him eventually.
Alexander cannot be punished for his deed, as there is no Russian law that deals with necrophilia incidents.
Jeez, Russia's so brutal.
We don't have a law for that, so you're good to go.
The family's weeping openly.
So get this.
Come.
I won't say any names, but this guy was drunk when he told me this story. It was an old dude hanging out at one of our old friends' house. And he was like, when I was living in California, I stole a horse when I was wasted in this town. I had some sugar cubes and it came up and ate them, and I jumped on the back of this horse, and when the cops found me, they just put me in jail for a night, but they didn't have a charge for it because no one stole like a horse in that county for over 100 years or something like that. So he got away, and this drunk dude telling me, I'm like, that's half believable. Like, that's pretty that's funny.
They probably, like, the last time somebody stole a horse, they were probably like, all right, hang them. They're like, we're not going to hang you for stealing
That's
a
a
horse.
wrap on this guy.
Yeah. Oh, Christ.
Brutal.
They don't say that enough anymore.
Police in China have been using sunglasses equipped with facial recognition to look for suspects. That is a real thing.
Yeah.
They need it in China. How the fuck does that work? Facial recognition?
Oh yeah, it's similar to the IDs that have like the hologram thing, the lights. Like they can literally pull up every picture that's ever been posted on the internet just by your facial scan recognition.
That's crazy.
They can instantly pull it up if they wanted to.
Jesus.
Or not instantly, probably take a little while, but they can do it. Snapchat does it all the time, and people just willingly do it.
That's true.
When you use
Critics
the filter.
critics fear the technology will give even more power to the government. No shit. No shit. Why?
Nice.
What do you mean you fear that?
That's the point, isn't
yeah,
it?
like
Isn't
that's
it the point of
literally the
government?
exact point.
Oh yeah, when it's balls to the wall in China, they can do whatever they want, really. Must be
Yeah,
true.
dude, did you hear about this happened a while ago, but there was a UCLA basketball player, Lonzo Ball's brother LaMelo or LiAngelo. I think it was LiAngelo, got caught stealing at a Gucci store in China. They were going to put him in prison for like 3 years for stealing a pair of sunglasses.
Jeez.
They don't fuck around in China, dude.
Oh no, absolutely
And
not.
their prisons aren't like nice American prisons. They're like work camps.
Yep. In China, you go to jail forever.
So, okay, so if this takes photos, it's going to be able to take video.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine like being the Terminator and walking around. And you have those like little red squares that go around people's heads, and like scanning like really quick.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
yeah.
imagining this whole time.
Yeah.
Same.
It'd be like AR. That's what AR is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You ever see that episode of Black Mirror where they if you haven't seen Black Mirror, it's basically Twilight Zone for like now, like it's modern Twilight Zone basically.
That show fucked me up, to be honest.
Yeah, it's great. But there's one where there's like a chip installed in everybody, and it records everything, so you can like rewind and play back your day and shit, like parts of your day. And I think it was a long time ago I watched it, but there's like this girl that finds out her boyfriend's like cheating on her or whatever through like his memories and shit.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So like you can't really hide anything, basically at that point.
I've only watched 2 episodes of Black Mirror or 3, and they all freaked me out, and I haven't watched it again. I didn't like it.
I watched one where a guy was pedaling on his bike for points,
Oh yeah, that was cool.
and that kind of fucked me up.
It's basically like the currency. Like that was their currency basically. It was
Yep.
what he was earning. I think the pedaling was like to power certain things or whatever.
For
like
energy?
Yeah.
Like a superior alien race is running these people and all that stuff like that. And if you really break it down, that's like the society of advertisement that we're in, of consuming and stuff like that, how
Yeah.
fucking nuts it is.
Yeah.
And kind of, even though we don't think we are, how much of in a prison we are. I think America's a great country and all that shit like that, and people only complain about shit, but it's freedom is really a rare thing that it takes a long time to actually understand.
Yeah.
And,
But that's what it is we're just working all day for points. Basically, it is points now because everybody has a fucking bank account and everybody's using cards. Like,
Yeah.
it's just credit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Once you go out west and you see small towns that are like, where you see the actual like direct effects of people farming and local community going to this town and like seeing the extra individual roles that people play.
Yeah.
It's really intense. There's a lot of danger to it because you have the potential of fucking up. I guess that's the cost of it all.
Yeah.
But it's pretty brutal to think about. And that's why that show kind of fucked me up, because like that chick just like hit the one chick he really liked, just like ended up giving into what was it? Fucking being famous and
Oh, yeah,
and all
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit, like being a porn star or whatever. And that kind of really fucked me up. Like gave me no hope for society after that. Like
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
That show's a lot like Twilight Zone in that like none of the episodes are the same.
Yeah.
And completely
and none
different
of them
cast.
make you happy. It's just such a bleak show.
Yeah.
Like
Twilight Zone was too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the episodes of Black Mirror I watched were Dance Monkey Dance, where the kid gets caught watching child porn, and the shadow company makes him do a bunch of shit, otherwise they're gonna expose him. And they make him like rob a store and like rob a bank and like kill people and shit like that. And then I watched the play tester where the guy went into virtual reality but he couldn't get out. And like he actually felt pain while he was in virtual reality and he couldn't escape.
Yeah,
and then I was
gonna watch that one the other day and I just don't know why I didn't, but
and there was the other one where the girl, whenever you commit a crime, you have to relive it over and over.
Yeah, that was cool.
That one was fucked.
Yeah.
That one really got to me because
all the
like,
people are acting and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah, that one was. You would like that one, Graham. Whenever you commit a heinous crime and you get sentenced,
and she doesn't
to life.
remember it. She just like she goes through all of it again.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard about it.
Yeah,
But...
you like this. What does she do? She murders a little girl.
Yeah,
or something?
she killed somebody and she can't remember what she did, but she's like she wakes up in this fucking weird. It's basically this whole staged thing where all these people, nobody says anything to her and everybody's recording her with their phone, which is super fucking kind of like creepy in the first place.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 people that can see her and shit. And she's in a bunch of horrible situations. And then they eventually tell her what she did. And then it's like, just like that, she's back to fucking reliving it again. She can't remember again. It's just, it's kind of like,
it was like an endless torture.
Yeah, which is what a lot of people's like concept of hell is what that is basically.
Yeah.
Like just kind of reliving like a horrible part of your life. Or just reliving something new and just it's always bad.
Thought loops reimagined.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, to be honest with you, dude, that honestly the whole point of a lot of cultures and stuff like that is the concept of free will, and like when you die and have that experience, what it really comes down to is the relationships you've built with people. Is it mostly positive or negative? And you could get trapped in an endless mind trip that's like a dream forever of just reliving the things that you regret or whatever. And that's like the whole point of trying to be the best and positive. But it's rough. We all have regrets and shit like that. But yeah, just people who have a dark soul or just committed shit that's unforgivable. Like that's what it all comes down to, like karma and all that. Like even though it may not physically catch up to them in this lifetime, they're gonna have that trip when they do pass away finally, either when it's 80 or if you get hit by a car or something like that, and it's probably not going to be very enjoyable. And that's what it's going to be like the closest thing to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking is I think that's probably most likely what happens when you die is there's that release of like DMT and you sort of like have basically what's a dream but super short because you actually are dying.
Oh yeah.
So it happens and then you die, but it seems like a long time.
The thing is about a dream is it does feel like it's forever.
Yeah.
And it's really quick.
Yeah.
And even when the heart stops beating, the mind, like they did tests on it, the mind still works for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that time span for dreams can be infinite, or feel like it anyway. And there's like you either approach it with love or fear. I've like listened to a lot of Duncan Trussell and a lot of people, scientists who have done it, and it's like there's 2 things you approach it with, either love or fear, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I remember Ari Shaffir talking about how he did when he did Salvia, he spent like 3 years in a different life.
Yeah.
Like he lived a whole life basically.
Yeah.
And then came back.
It's no joke. Yeah.
That shit's fucked. That's so weird, dude. He must have been doing like 120X or some shit.
Yeah.
I did
I think there's a
60.
video of him doing it, isn't there? Online.
Probably.
Yeah,
There's
I
like a
think
video
so.
of him.
It's on one of Joe Rogan's blogs.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember when that was the thing. But when it was legal, actually, it was really cool. I did 60X, and that was too much. Like 45 was always really nice. But you can get it in Canada, like no problem, I guess.
I think you could still get it,
You could probably get it
just
here
not
somehow.
at head shops. I think you can buy like the leaf, right? Not the
Probably.
because I was reading about people that make tea out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like salvia tea, and you just like It's just like a body high, like all day.
Probably the extract's probably banned. Yeah. I think it's up to each county probably. Some county regulations are different than others.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that that's something that was legal.
Mm-hmm.
And
you could
basically is still legal.
You could go down to Bonafide and buy it, right? Did they have it at Bonafide?
Back in the day, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we used to get
Spice and K2.
Yeah, all that shit. I'm glad that's not going around anymore.
Remember Shaman?
Yeah, that actually killed people.
Dude, that was horrible.
Tried it once or twice, and I thought I almost crashed my skateboard riding home because I was just so like zoned out. I couldn't think.
Yeah.
My friend's or my dad's friend, his son died doing Shaman.
Yeah.
He was only like 13.
Yep.
13 or 14 or something, and he just like.
I think I did it once without knowing. Like, it was just kind of like sprinkled on the top of a bowl.
Yeah.
And after I was done with it, I was like, oh my God. Like, where? First of all, I was in a place that I'd never been before because I was over at my buddy Keith's house. And he had just moved in there or whatever. It was like an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
What's that buzzing? Oh, it stopped. That was weird.
Like a text message? Yep.
Yeah, I was over there and I had no idea where I was. And then he left me, like, he went to go do some other shit and I was just sitting there. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, how am I this high? I know I didn't smoke that much. And I had to, like, he told me eventually what was in it. It's like, dude, why didn't you tell me before?
That's fucked up. That's really fucked up.
It hits everyone differently based on your vitamin level. Some people are allergic to other things, and it's literally like straight research shit.
Yeah.
I remember. I'd done it like 2 or 3 times, and it was a hit or miss. Sometimes you just feel like a little weird, or sometimes like my heart's accelerating and I'm like sweating and like I'm tripping out, like type thing. It's definitely not a safe thing to do, and it kind of sucks that it was pushed so hard, and that weed was harder to get than that type thing, and that's what the problem is. If people just were at home and could get stoned, just play video games or whatever, they're less likely to be out doing stupid shit or getting in trouble or anything like that.
Right. I think the argument is that they're less productive, but it's like if you're less productive, you were already less productive. Like you're just doing it on weed.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like you would rather have somebody be unproductive on weed than highly productive on alcohol, I think.
Yeah. There's no such thing as being highly productive on alcohol, though. I don't know. I don't think you can be as efficient.
Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs.
Yeah, I guess that throws a wrench in that one.
One exception, yeah.
Rest in peace, Wade.
We're going to miss you, Boss Hog.
But yeah, I would have to say the most times I've never gotten in trouble or whatever, but like where it's come close, I've been on alcohol or been hungover to where I just haven't been fully conscious or like about my decisions or anything like that, and that's the one thing. And it's crazy how it's pushed. I had a manager out at Ace Hardware I was working with out west, and he was a former Denver police officer, and so like, he doesn't drink, and he was Native American because of what it did to his people, type thing like that. And like literally the natives were overthrown and oppressed with alcohol because people are more depressed or downed, like they're easier to control, manipulate, and stuff like that. And that's similar to kind of, I feel, is what's happening with the opioid epidemic. Like right now, if people are easier to control, then you can basically do whatever the hell you want.
The opioid fucking thing is annoying because most people, it was something like 60 or 70% of all people that do heroin started off on like oxycodone or Oxycontin or Percocets.
Right.
But they stop getting their prescriptions from their doctor, and then they just start doing heroin or fentanyl.
Yeah, it's a real shame, man. I mean, there's always people that are gonna go out like on the streets and go out and seek it, even though they weren't prescribed anything like that. But yeah, it's a real issue in other states and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm kind of just seeing it more as a socially accepted thing. Just even people just on pills all the time. Just like even most people that come into like the shop I work at or whatever, they're just not really talking to me or whatever. Right. Some people are just
they're like nodding off while you're trying to check them out.
Not that. It's just like I'm talking to a fake person who's like not even looking at me in the face or on their phone all the time. And people are on, they're just like prescribed Adderall or whatever antidepressant just to help them through. It's like
Adderall's the big one too.
Yeah, everyone's prescribed that shit.
There's like a huge Adderall epidemic with college kids. Like I know kids that I only went to college for a year, but I still know kids that I went to college with that are like still hooked on Adderall that aren't even in school anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my sisters told me that, like, I don't know if it was like this in high school when we went, but like midterms, all of a sudden everybody has Adderall, and then at finals week everybody's on Adderall. And it's just freaky. I did Adderall once in high school, and I think 2 or 3 times in college. I fucking hated it. It was weird.
Word. Yeah, it's no bueno. No bueno.
Yeah, I never fucked with like pills at all. I barely take pills when I'm sick, like ever.
No,
Yeah,
so
I don't know. I don't like it.
If you're not prescribed something, definitely shouldn't do it because everyone's body is different.
Right.
And you could have an allergic reaction you don't know about.
Exactly.
And it could put you under. Could put anyone under.
Yeah, just I'd much rather just naturally get better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Just slam a bottle of vitamin C.
It's like your body is
Bam.
built to heal you. Like that's the whole point of
Yep.
your immune system.
Absolutely. Crutching yourself could do you more damage than good sometimes if you're just putting a Band-Aid over it.
A lot of pills like just make me tired and shit and
Yeah.
basically make me crash.
There's only one time I was just like, I just want to chug a bottle of NyQuil and go to bed because I feel like shit. But
Yeah.
I haven't yet. I've never purchased NyQuil or DayQuil or anything like that.
Yeah, that
I'll
fucking. I was taking Theraflu or something, and it's basically I would take the night medication, and I'd be fucking unconscious in like an hour.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if that, like I would feel it set in like 15 minutes, and I'd be like, I literally as soon as I lay down, I'm asleep.
Mm-hmm. That's how I am with Benadryl. I take Benadryl like if I have to take it tomorrow night because I'm switching from evening shifts to day shifts, and usually I get up at like 9 or 10, but Saturday morning I have to get up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna take like 2 Benadryls at like 8 p.m. and by 8:40, 8:45, you just feel like your body's getting full of sand, and
Yeah.
you're just
Full of
you're done. You're like nothing's waking you up. And then as soon as that you wake up for like the first 10 minutes, you just feel like
Yeah.
dog shit.
Yeah,
Because you
it's
didn't really
horrible.
sleep. You just knocked yourself
You were just
out.
in like a coma.
Yeah.
Like basically, if you don't sleep for like more than 8 hours, you're fucking still shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're more tired than you would have been.
Depends. And there's an argument of based on what you intake and how many calories, like from a few diet people I've just talked about. Like I've run into a lot of people that only sleep 5 or 6 hours, 4 hours sometimes, just depending on what you do, and they like stop eating after a certain time. I just go balls to the walls. I'll eat carbs at midnight. Like I don't care. I'll wake up hungry as hell, make a grilled
Yeah.
cheese, go back to bed.
Like the intermittent fasting is like it's a good thing to do, like to not eat after like 8 and then eat in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, usually I do that for the most part, but I don't do it like willingly, you know, like it's just, I don't eat at that point.
Yeah. I only eat really one big meal a day, and then other times I just snack or make something like kind of half-assed.
Yeah. I don't ever snack. It's weird. I like, no, I don't know. I guess if I had something sitting there, I probably would.
You got
but I
Cheerios and popcorn.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
my girlfriend eats that. She snacks all the fucking time.
Yeah, I remember her purse is like
It's
half of it's a
unbelievable.
pantry.
It's literally constant. It's like every like fucking 10 minutes.
Yeah.
She'll pull something out.
Like I remember she pulled out like those Jack Link's pepperoni stick with the cheese stick attached to it.
Oh, that sounds good.
They're delicious.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I can't do that.
I saw a Sasquatch commercial in the first time in ages, like the whole set.
The messing with Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Messing with Sam Squatch.
Sam Squinches.
Sam Squatch. Fucking Christ.
Oh, jeez.
I snack pretty frequently, but it's usually like Triscuits, cheese, and pepperoni.
Triscuits
And I'll have
of the
some
bone.
of I have like some of that with like a glass of water and or a cup of tea right before I go to bed. That'll probably be at like 10. I'll go to bed at like 12.
So, did you guys go see the last Star Wars that came out?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Overall, what'd you think?
Did you see it?
Yes.
It was fucking amazing.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was really
There
good.
were I only have 2 complaints.
Mm.
3 complaints.
Let's
Spoiler,
hear 'em.
spoiler. You should have seen it by now. Anyway, the Princess Leia flying through space thing was weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
They killed Admiral Akbar off screen, and there were no serious moments at all. Because every 30 seconds, somebody had to come up with a stupid fucking one-liner. Like
That's Disney.
like they're in the casino and like the horse things are running through and I was just expecting them to be like, looks like you gambled and lost, like something stupid like that. Oh, looks like it's not his lucky day, which is whatever. I mean, Star Wars, whatever. It was never super serious, but
I really liked how they touched into what the Force really is and how Luke was guiding her through it. I really did like that when she went to the dark side and how it just was in endless reflections of her.
That was pretty crazy.
The whole end where he was projecting himself to a different area was fucking awesome.
That was the best scene in any movie I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. It was so fucking awesome. And then the
fucking AT-ATs just like completely annihilate him.
Yeah.
And he's like, brushes his shoulder. So good.
It was amazing.
So I've been watching the prologues a lot lately, just kind of on a loop because I got to go buy the originals and the new ones.
Oh, the prequels.
Yes. And
I thought you meant like the first 5 minutes of every film. I've been watching the prologues, just the first 5-10 minutes of each film.
He just watches the text scroll.
The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and
Revenge of the Sink.
Revenge of the Sink. The Sith. There's theory. I looked up online, and there's so much backstory to Star Wars that I love. Anakin Skywalker, his mom said there was no father to him, type thing, which brings in the theory of Jesus, of the the archetype of Jesus, how we briefly.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of Star Wars fans argue that Darth Plagueis, a really old Sith Lord, used the Force to create a new Sith inside, or even it was across the galaxy.
Because didn't he have the power to create life?
Yes. But
he didn't have the power to save who he loved. It's not a story that the Jedi would tell you.
Well, it's really brutal how it goes into political schemes, real touch of kind of, I feel as though morality, touches on a lot of religions, Taoism, Buddhism, even a little bit of hints of Christianity in there. I love it as more. I just want to get so deep into it, like it's fucking essential.
Yeah, the prequels were really, like you said, they were very political.
Yes.
Which is cool because it really does show you the way that things changed
in the galaxy and all that. Yeah.
And it really is like a major turning point, which is I think it is interesting, but it's not one of those movies that you watch over and over.
No, I don't think the prequels are that bad. I just don't think they're as good as the original 3.
Right.
That's the only difference.
Absolutely.
I thought episode 3 was really good, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Episode 3 was better than Return of the Jedi, for sure. Return of the Jedi was so weird. Like I did the original trilogy right before we saw The Last Jedi. I did the original trilogy and then The Force Awakens. But Return of the Jedi is so weird. Like, just the whole thing with the Ewoks and like they worship C-3PO. And, like they give Leia a makeover somehow. Like there's so many things that are like, how the fuck,
True.
The original Star Wars, A New Hope, will always be my favorite. There's just not a bad scene in that whole movie. Same with Empire.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back is a good one because I just love Planet Hoth and just the battles that take place in it were very visually entertaining.
Yeah.
When the guy kamikazes into the fucking executive Star Destroyer, or whatever it is, the Super Star Destroyer, that was sweet.
Word.
Dude, that one scene in the new one where they went through the fucking Star Destroyer. That one scene, dude, that was so good.
That was ridiculous.
That chick,
the light speed or whatever it was.
The Dreadnought, I think they went right.
Yeah.
The last chick on the ship when she went through. Yeah,
that was so sweet.
It's ballsy.
Yeah. The only plot point I didn't like was, or not plot point. The only thing I didn't like was that Rose, the Asian girl that's in love with Finn, is way uglier than her sister that dies in the beginning of the movie. I wish the roles were reversed. Because every time Rose was on screen, I was just like, I wish they had the other girl on. I wish your sister was you instead.
In The Force Awakens, if I have to complain, it felt like just Return of the Jedi, but faster type thing, to where
it felt like the whole original series sped up, just
blended into one. And,
but we
got a new Death Star, but it's a planet. It's like,
yeah.
Here we go again.
Yeah. I was really upset that they destroyed the Starkiller base in the first movie. I wasn't like, how the fuck?
That's why you knew it was a throwaway. Like,
Yeah, it was just there to show the characters off. But it's like, you didn't need to do that. And then they kill off Snoke, like, right away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not right away, but you don't even know who he is, really.
Yeah.
Everybody had all those theories about if he was Darth Plagueis, or if he was
it's like, no,
somehow
he's
Palpatine reincarnated.
No, he's just dead.
He's just a dead guy now. There was the one theory that somebody said it was one of the Jedi that Anakin tried to kill when they were kids. Like, when he had to kill all the younglings in Episode 3, somebody was like, he's the kid that Anakin had to kill. Master Skywalker, they made it into the temple. What do we do?
It was such a brutal scene. Like, that movie was just actually fucking
Dude,
intense.
I think Hayden Christensen was so good at being evil.
Yeah.
Like, just the change in character. Like, it was so weird that you could tell, like, the moment he changed. Like, you could just see it. Just his look and the way he played the character was totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And like they say in the series, Anakin died. And it's almost like you see that happen. Like, you see him become Darth Vader. There's a moment where you see it.
In Attack of the Clones, when he killed the Sand People.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That was like one of the first times when Yoda said, what was it? Anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering type thing like that. And when he was like, after he killed him, he was like, I fucking hate him. And that was like, you see him going down this path.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh,
And it's like, you know that he turns into Darth Vader, but it's just so interesting how...
Yeah, it's cool to
it's
see
just
it.
like, you know... And it really shows how ignorant the Jedi are.
Yeah.
It's just like... The Jedi are just doomed to lose, because the Sith are basically Jedi that don't give a fuck, and they want to be so badass with the Force, and they'll just crush anything in their way, and the Jedi are like, let's hold back. Don't love anybody. Don't just sit here and relax.
That's exactly what they sound like.
We're not going to use lightning or anything. We're
they
just
actually
gonna relax.
discover how to live forever, because like in The Last Jedi and stuff like that, you see the spirits of people still like around type thing, and how Yoda's like, you can still communicate with dead people if they use the positive side of the Force.
I thought it was crazy that the Force ghosts just look like people now. They're not blue. Right? Yoda looked normal. He wasn't blue. Right?
Yeah.
Even though in all the other movies they're blue.
Yeah.
The technology is better now.
That's true. I want Qui-Gon Jinn to come back.
Yep.
I want Darth Maul to come back.
Yep.
True.
Let's see that part 2. Battle of the Blue Man Group. But I guess what it comes down to is sorry not to get too religious on it, with Satanism and Christianity, as in, or other spiritual religions, stuff like that, is the Satanism is all about right here, right now, have as much fun as you can. This is heaven and hell, as in Jedi are just more about eternal peace, because they're ready for eternal life into like the next dimension type thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And how they discover to actually live forever, as in Siths are more obsessed with the material world.
Yeah, and they want the blue milk, and they want it now.
Yeah, they want their cake, and they want to eat it too.
Exactly.
But who wouldn't? Just look at it.
We should take a quick break, because we're an hour in.
Balls deep.
I think what we're going to do now is we're going to cut these into shorter podcasts. Like, we'll split them up and then release them over a couple days, because I feel like people don't like to pay attention for 3 hours,
True.
So like, if you release it now, give them like an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, it's more digestible.
Yeah,
Good
definitely.
point. Yeah, we are very dynamic.
It's high fiber.
Yeah.
We go from Star Wars to football real quick. I don't have the most to say about football.
Yeah.
But I love
we can come back in on Star Wars if we want to.
Definitely.
It's always my good go-to. It's my crutch. So, you guys like Star Wars? Yeah.
I got a thing on YouTube to show you guys about Star Wars. It's pretty good.
Oh, we can do that too.
If you're down during the break.
Sweet.
All right.
Snacks.
We'll see you soon, guys.
Snacks.
Clear Shots Podcast is produced and distributed for free. We don't pay anything to make it, and you don't pay anything to listen to it. The best way to hear Clear Shots Podcast is on YouTube. YouTube's going to have all of our full episodes, all of our clips, and also episodes of Clear Shots Plays, where we play video games and do our thing. Just search for us on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you're like me and you like doing other things while you listen to podcasts, check us out on SoundCloud. It's always going to have our latest episode. It only is going to have one episode at a time, but you'll be able to listen to the audio-only format, and it's the best way to listen to it while you're doing something else. You don't have to keep your screen on if you're listening on your phone or whatever. Check us out at soundcloud.com/ClearShotsPodcast. If you're on Facebook, check us out on Facebook as well. Like us, follow us. We always post new episodes. We always post clips, and we always post just random things here and there. Facebook.com/ClearShotsPodcast.
Follow us on Twitter at ClearShotsPod, and we'll see you next time.